The Tabung Haji RCI report is out, with Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim saying it has been released without censorship or redactions. Meanwhile, Rafizi Ramli says the findings clears his name after years of criticism. This and more on KiniNews. Parti Bersama Malaysia co-leader Rafizi Ramli said the release of the Tabung Haji Royal Commission of Inquiry report has vindicated him and cleared his name of slander propagated by his political opponents. He said it confirms the concerns he first raised more than a decade ago and recalled being arrested, charged and nearly imprisoned over his disclosures.
Saya telah ditangkap, didakwa dan hampir dipenjarakan. Selama sedekat saya menjadi bahan fitnah. Kononnya saya menghasut orang Islam untuk memusnahkan tabung haji. Hasil dari pendedahan-pendedahan ini juga telah menjadi modal politik kepada PKR dan Pakatan Harapan selama sedekat. Malah, isu laporan RCI tabung haji kali ini pun timbul akibat dari ucapan-ucapan saya di PRN Johor sebulan lalu yang mengkritik kompromi Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim dengan UMNO sehingga laporan RCI itu diperam selama lebih 3 tahun. Apapun, saya bersyukur laporan ini telah didedahkan untuk memberi peluang kepada orang ramai membaca dan menilai sendiri selain dari membersihkan nama saya dari fitnah lawan politik terhadap saya mengenai tabung haji.
Rafizi added that he would publish further analysis of the RCI report in the coming weeks. While agreeing with most of the Commission's recommendations, he called for new laws to hold ministers, senior officials, and board members accountable for misconduct under their supervision. In February 2017, Rafizi, who was then the PKR vice president, was acquitted by the Kuala Lumpur Magistrates Court on criminal defamation charges linked to Tabung Haji. The former Pandan MP had initially claimed trial for defaming the Pilgrimage Fund through an article titled Tabung Haji Financial Analysis 2009-2015, which was uploaded onto his Facebook account on February 9, 2016. Meanwhile, when asked about the report this afternoon, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said it was released in full without any censorship or redactions. He stressed that those responsible for any wrongdoing uncovered in the RCI report must be investigated and prosecuted in accordance with the law.
Kita dah akan edar keseluruhannya. We will publish the entire report, recommendations and the processes that took place, which means it's earlier than 2020, of course, and in the short deliberation in the cabinet is also a view that we extend it beyond. We want to know precisely what happened afterwards and the measures undertaken by the various committees, including the present Hajj Board. Saya rasa lebih baiklah umat Islam dan rakyat Malaysia diberi peluang untuk melihat keseluruhannya. Yang penting adalah sebagai pengajaran, kali ini jangan berulang. Tapi sementara itu yang bertanggungjawab mesti disiasat dan didakwa jika perlu dan ikut proses pendakwaan dan proses badan kehakiman.
Still on the topic of the RCI report, earlier Tabung Haji said that its recovery and restructuring plan successfully addressed 12.6 billion ringgit in investment losses. According to TH, 10 billion ringgit was resolved under the 2018 recovery plan, while the remaining 2.6 billion ringgit was recognized progressively through the end of 2025. In a statement, it said the 2018 restructuring was undertaken to address a financial deficit that necessitated an immediate government bailout. This was to prevent the institution from becoming insolvent. TH said the gap between its assets and liabilities, first identified at the end of 2017, had exceeded 10 billion ringgit by the end of 2018. Without intervention before the end of 2018, it said it would have been unable to meet the requirements of the Tabung Haji Act to declare any profit distribution. It added that without the government's bailout at the time, it could also have triggered a financial market crisis and threatened the country's financial stability. As part of the restructuring, government-owned Urus Harta Jamaah bought underperforming assets with a book value of 9.7 billion ringgit for 19.9 billion ringgit. TH said it has since bought back selected assets when they met its investment criteria. These include land in the Tun Razak Exchange and an oil palm plantation, both repurchased below their original sale prices. It stressed that TH will only reacquire assets that enhance its investment portfolio and safeguard the interests of its depositors. TH also said its profit distribution has improved from 1.25% in 2018 to 3.5% in 2025. It added that the institution is now on stronger financial footing after implementation of strategic plans, reforms, and improved governance, all without government interference. The MACC has also set up a special task force to review the findings of the RCI into Tabung Haji. The MACC said the team will investigate any evidence of wrongdoing uncovered in the report. The task force will be led by MACC Investigation Division Senior Director Hafaz Nazar. According to the MACC, the team will examine any legal issues involving possible elements of corruption, misappropriation, document falsification, abuse of power, money laundering, or related offenses. The Commission said it is committed to thoroughly reviewing every issue raised in the RCI report. It added that if any breaches of the law are identified, firm action will be taken, regardless of the position or background of those involved. The agency also urged the public not to speculate on the matter until the review has been completed.
From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
Negeri Sembilan heads to the polls tomorrow, but according to former DAP MP Ong Ken Ming, the election could shape more than just the state's future. Speaking on KiniTV's Kini Jelas, Ong believes that a Pakatan Harapan defeat could strain ties with Barisan Nasional in the federal government and potentially pave the way for an early general election.
Stability kerajaan Madani untuk berterusan sebagai kerajaan sampai ke akhir tahun 2027 tu saya rasa tak begitu munasabah. Oleh kerana saya rasa isu permusuhan ni, permusuhan politik yang akibat daripada apa yang berlaku di Johor dan seterusnya memang akan menjadikan keadaan di kabinet tu memang tegang dan susah untuk melaksanakan apa-apa polisi yang substantif moving ahead.
He said the stakes would be even higher if senior DAP leaders, including Anthony Loke, were to lose their seats. Such a result, Ong argued, could trigger internal pressure on DAP ministers.
Saya rasa satu kesan kepada DAP ialah apabila wakil pergi untuk membuang undi di Kongres khas pada 16 hari bulan Ogos, ada kemungkinan yang lebih besar bahawa mereka akan mengundi supaya pemimpin DAP akan meletak jawatan daripada kabinet, maksudnya 5 menteri dan juga 7 timbalan menteri akan meletak jawatan dalam masa yang dikhususkan, dan walaupun saya rasa PH akan PH akan terus menyokong kerajaan Madani sebagai backbencher, tetapi ini mungkin boleh akibatkan situasi di kabinet tu tak begitu stabil.
He added that a strong BN Perikatan Nasional showing could also bolster calls within UMNO for closer cooperation with PN, which would leave Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim with little choice but to seek a fresh mandate. Tomorrow's vote will decide Negeri Sembilan's next government. The question now is whether the outcome will have repercussions in Putrajaya. To watch the full interview, head to KiniTV's YouTube channel. Next, we have a branded capsule by YTL Foundation.
What does it take to build the next generation of leaders, not just for one organization, but for an entire nation? That vision inspired YTL Foundation to launch the Ilmu Fellowship, a national initiative that brings together emerging leaders from government, business, and civil society to learn, collaborate, and lead together.
So the role of this, the fellowship, what we hope is to bring together all people from 3 sectors, young leaders, that they can actually grow together, collaborate, and hold each other accountable, during their journey as leaders.
Developed with partners including the Blavatnik School of Government at the University of Oxford, Acumen, Pemandu Associates, and leadership coach Alvin Ang, the 10-month fellowship combines global leadership perspectives with Malaysia's unique social and institutional context.
These are our partners. So Acumen, one of the programs they do really well is the Good Society readings. So they facilitate that. And then we have Pemandu. So if you know Dato Sri Idris Jala, he teaches adaptive leadership at Harvard. The Blavatnik School is obviously, a really well-renowned school. So they do research, they have the experts in this, and they will give a global perspective to our fellows. And finally, Alvin Ang, he's a leadership coach. So he will journey with the fellows across the 10 months of their journey.
The inaugural cohort will see 25 emerging leaders embark on a 10-month journey of leadership development, ending with a residential program at the University of Oxford while continuing to create impact in their own organizations and communities.
By 10 years, 25 a year, we have 250 fellows and leaders. If you have just a few of these people at pivotal places in our country, driving change, I think it will make a lot of difference.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.